the best time to handle a client objection is before the call, before it even comes up, during the call. Now, during the call, everybody just kind of jumps on the call and they wing it. They use their hustle or their flair. Wouldn't it be better to have a system to build anticipation before the call? Wouldn't it be better to have a process that you can deliver the same meeting every time during the call? And what about this follow-up piece after the call? Oh yeah, I should check in. I was going to check in. I was going to follow up. I didn't follow up. I don't want to follow up too often. I don't want to come across as obnoxious. Oh my God, I forgot to follow up. It's been too long now. It would be awkward and embarrassing if I actually followed up. We need a system for this. So a strategic closing framework. And as a bare minimum, I'm going to say a great place to start is to simply have a rate card. Here's my next question for you. Should you show your clients your rate card? Is a rate card something that you prepare and give to your clients? Give me a yes or a no. Because the funny thing is, in our world, we're not selling cartons of milk and loaves of bread. There are no set benchmarks for what it is that we do. Our customers and clients don't really have a clear understanding or expectation of how much they should be paying for what it is that we do. I'm getting crickets here. Should you show your clients your rate card? Now, part of the reason why I'm getting silence here is that I'm guessing that a lot of people on this call don't even have a rate card, right? Because every client is different, and that's the way it works. So should we show it to them? Now Tim says we customize our pricing. Dean says no. But Robert says, I don't bill by the hour. Depends on volume. I'm getting some fairly mixed and all over the place responses here. It's a tough one. I believe that you should definitely have a rate card, but your rate card is for you. It's not something that you publish on your website. It's something for you so that when you can present it to somebody, you can present it at the end of the sales call after you've done the elevating anticipation during the sales call. Act 1, discovery. Act 2, deliver value. Act 3, diagnose. So when you diagnose, you can say, I've got 2 or 3 options. This is the best option for you. And then you can introduce the package that's relevant to them because you have your rate card. Then after the call, do your follow-up. Meet Naomi here. So Naomi put together what we call a 3PO rate card. It stands for 3-part offers. And when we put together a 3-part offer in our business, or when we're helping other people, what we're doing is we're not saying, here is what we've got, right? Here's what we've got. What we're doing is when we say, here's what we've got, we're creating a yes or a no dynamic. It's not one option, there are 2. You can take it or leave it, right? Yes or no. If we introduce 2 options, we have an either or option. If we have 3 options, what we can do is we can do a little bit of anchor pricing. So I can't see the prices here, but typically you'll start off with something big that might be outside the reach of the person that you're speaking with. Then you'll introduce something small, at which point they'll go, phew, I can afford that. And then you'll introduce the thing that you actually really want them to buy, which is a little bit more expensive than that, only a little bit more, but a lot more value, and a lot less expensive than that, but a good chunk of value as well too. So this is Naomi. She says, I've more than tripled my rates. My bookings have gone up and I now have better fit clients who value my services and expertise more and more. I now have an actual waiting list. Now, the line that I want you to see here is this word, I tripled my rates. We got a number of testimonials from Naomi because her story was so spectacular and interesting. She started off as a freelance copywriter. She would schlep across to somebody's house because they'd say, hey, I think I might want to hire you. She tells a wonderful story where someone said, I think I want to hire you. Can you come meet me at my office? She schlepped across town, like, an hour commute. She went to someone's house that apparently smelled like, I don't know, ferret piss. The person went through all the different things that they wanted her to do. And then she said, what's your budget? And the person said $500. Naomi took the job. And that was because she was someone selling her services and expertise. Now, she stepped into our world. She began to codify what it is that she do. She broke it down into a 3-part offer. And the reason why I've got this highlighted where it says I've more than tripled my rates is that the testimonial originally said I've more than doubled my rates. And then she came back 2 weeks later and said, I've now more than tripled my rates. And the reason why is that if you have a codified rate card, for example, you can present it to someone. And what happened is that the first person that she met took the biggest offer. Right? So she doubled all her rates and then she doubled them again. But Naomi is a smart cookie. So she didn't stop there. She took it a whole lot further, and I'm going to come back to that. So the things when it comes to selling, when we're talking about strategic CAC, there is the first piece of the puzzle, which is the pointy end. That there is where the rubber hits the road, where the deal gets done. That is the sales piece. Now, if the sales piece is problematic, what is another piece of the puzzle that could and might be problematic to you in your world? If we talk about sales, we can also talk about marketing. Now, what I'm going to write down here is I'm going to write down not the marketing piece. I'm going to write down the chasing, the chasing piece. So the same way that the pointy end of the deal drives us nuts, the other part of the deal piece of the puzzle that drives us nuts is the marketing piece, which I'm going to call the chasing piece. And that is because we spend a lot of time chasing. Indeed, we spend a lot of time, let's see if I can fit this in, convincing. Do you know why we have to spend a lot of time convincing? Because a lot of the time we're not known. We're not known. We have no footprint. We don't stand for anything. We don't have profile visibility. We might be viewed as a cog in a bigger machine if we work for somebody else. We're not known. And if we're not known, that typically means no respect. But we meet with someone and we're stuck going, I know that we're the best for you. And here I am trying to convince you that I know what I'm talking about. It's so frustrating. It's so tedious. So the convincing. The other one is the random acts of marketing. Hey, I saw something on my Facebook feed, so I think I'll give that a go. My neighbor's cousin's nephew said that they tried something. I think I'm going to give that a go. The random acts of marketing. Don't say you haven't done it. You know, it's when you meet someone and they say, I think I'm going to do a podcast. All right, what's your off ramp for that? I didn't have an off ramp. I just wanted to do a podcast, right? Random acts of marketing. If you have no system, you have no certainty. No system, no certainty. But when you have systems, you have sanity. I'll just put this out there. Referrals is not a marketing strategy. It's not a marketing strategy because it's not really within your control now, is it? You can do things that are going to hopefully get you more referrals along the way. And one of those things is being good at what you do. And I love getting referrals because it is a good indication of me being good at what it is that I do. But unfortunately, referrals from a marketing perspective is no different to hope. That is the strategy. I am going to hope that people are going to step into my world because somebody else that I haven't seen in months may or may not tell someone that I've also never met that I'm good at what it is that I do. Referrals is hope-based marketing. All right, if we're over the chasing and the convincing and the random acts of marketing, being addicted or over-reliant on referrals, what do we need?